All right, go for it.
What? We're live? We are live?
Yes, we're live.
We're live. Holy crap, we're live. Hello, everyone. Good morning. It is I, the notorious, glorious ape himself, the Optimus Primate, coming to you on roguenews.com. Check us out on Twitter at Real Rogue News and roguenews.com, the new website. You can also follow us on Steemit and on DTube and on every single podcasting app known to humanity. And you can find us on the legacy applications such as Fake Book, aka Facebook, or Fraud Book, or Censor Book, whatever you want to call it. And of course, on YouTube, you can click the subscribe, like, and share button while we're still here. We do have plans in the future for some amazing things, so you'll just stay tuned for that. With that being said, also check out our sponsors, remaincom.net. You have debt issues, collectors after you, go to remaincom.net. Crypto School, they're cryptoschool.io. Go over there, check it out. Links are in the description box. Whether you want to trade, click the Watch Us Trade link, or you want to learn the video education series, it's there as well over at the Crypto School, my friend. And if you want to liquidate your cryptos, $5,000. I don't care if it's 5,000 or it's $5 billion. You want to get it done with absolute total privacy. Check out liquidbase.io, my friend. Liquidbase.io. With that being said, what's crack-a-lacking, CJ?
Hey, good morning, B. Doing great. Doing great. It was a busy news cycle. Lots to chat about and everything, but I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm out of coffee, so I don't know what to do. I'm freaking out, man.
But you got vacation right around the corner, so it's okay.
I know. I love Florida. I really do. I'm gonna move there. That's what
Oh
I'm gonna
yeah.
do. Dude, you know what? It's just I love hot weather all year round. I'm wishful thinking, and see, the problem is I love hot weather all year round. Beautiful tropical weather. My wife, she's into the four seasons, and the fall comes around. She's got to put on the sweaters and the scarves and matching it with the jacket and the bags. Me, I just want to just hang out on the beach all day and pick lint from my belly button. That's all I want to do.
Well, just be careful down there. You've seen all that algae and stuff that they've been releasing from the waterways. It's been killing all the wildlife there, haven't you?
What?
You haven't read that?
No.
Yeah, the media is hiding it, but if you Google algae fish kill Florida, yeah, it's pretty extensive. The amount of wildlife. Yeah, it's they're releasing it because they have nowhere to go for the cities, the waste and everything, and it's creating this cloud in the water, and it's poisoning the fish. So it's very toxic to the wildlife there right now. And Aaron Elizabeth at Health News did a big investigation on it. But yeah,
holy smokes, a red tide outbreak.
There you go.
On the west coast of Florida. Wow.
But yeah,
I'll be on the East Coast though.
Good.
That's crazy, man.
It is crazy. But you don't hear about that from the legacy media. They won't tell you what's really going on.
Look at this. Roughly 20 million algal cells called a swath of red that recently lingered off Florida's southwest coast. Red tide began in October 2017. There are no signs that the toxic plume will lift anytime soon. Anything that can leave has, and anything that couldn't leave has died. The first thing you notice is the smell. It's not a scent exactly, but a tingling in the nose that quickly spreads to the throat and burns the lungs. But you see the carcasses. Thousands of sea creatures now litter many of southern Florida's typically picturesque beaches. Most are fish, mulletfish, catfish, pufferfish, snook, trout, grunt, even the massive Goliath groper. But other creatures are also washing ashore: crabs, eels, manatees, dolphins, turtles, and more. It's a wildlife massacre of massive proportions because of both the death and the toxic stinging fumes of a bloom of harmful algae. The scientists say is the region's worst in over a decade. It's like a ghost town, says Heather Barron, head veterinarian Florida's clinic. What the hell is going on?
Yeah, well, go ahead.
Yeah, many organisms around the world can cause harmful algal blooms, which are also known as red tide for their common rust red color. In Florida, the culprit is usually the tiny plant-like algae known as Carina brevis, which produces toxins dubbed brevetoxins that cause gastrointestinal and neurological problems when eaten. The latest bloom now stretches around 100 miles along the coast. and miles offshore. Wow. Often pushed into concentrated patches by winds and currents, red tide in the Gulf certainly isn't new. The reports back as if, what the frigid air is going on? 9 months. 9 months and counting.
Yeah, you can go to Health Nut News and check it out. And Erin's going to be on with us next week, and we'll have her discuss it. And there's another news organization, and I subscribe to it, but it's another health one. And this is directly tied to the city and what they're releasing and what they're pumping into the ocean. Because this isn't like naturally occurring, like they're lying to us, like they want us to believe that. I just threw up there, you can probably see it, and NBC, Erin Brockovich slams Florida officials over algae crisis, do your damn jobs. She's absolutely right. This is a city issue. This is them pumping toxic things into the water, just hoping for the best. This has nothing to do with natural occurring algae that's killing the fish. No, it's the toxins that they're pouring into the waterways, and it's just creating total devastation, and no one's talking about it at all. It's really, except for us, we're talking about it.
Good God, man. Good God. Wow. Well, luckily I'll be chilling in a pool.
I'm sorry, me. I should have waited till post vacation to share this article.
No, I'm glad you told me this. You know, with my luck, I would have probably went out there, and God knows what would happen. I would come out, and the next thing you know, I'd have cauliflower growing off the side of my head. Who knows? Who knows? I have a tumor that looks like cauliflower growing off the side of my head, man. It is crazy. It's insane.
Yeah, it is. It's sad. It really is. I mean, of what's happening. You look at all the pictures of the dead. Yeah, just complete devastation.
Crazy, bro. I feel sorry for the little manatees and the dolphins and whatnot, and the sea turtles.
Now, careful, but you're going to show the audience your tender side, your soft side.
I know.
Careful.
I know. I mean, I'm a lover at heart. I am. Jeez, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah, it is. It's very crazy. Yeah, it's very crazy.
You can't be doing this crap. It's nuts. Anyway, man.
Well, at least own up to it. I mean, for the city officials, is to try to hide what's really going on, and that's what they're doing. It's no different than in Detroit with the water systems, and again, it falls back to what? The government, right? City and local governments, time after time again.
The government.
But there's probably someone that has a solution to it, that if they take the time, to research to figure out what they could do with that water, somehow, treating it before it got released versus, their issues, that the decision just to release the water and hope for the best. That's not a good thing. And but unfortunately, it's gained some, traction that people are discussing it. But yeah, it's a real tragedy to the wildlife there. No doubt about it. The marine life.
Oh, it's nuts, bro. It's crazy. Speaking about tragedy, Siege, what has happened in New Mexico that people are just talking about individuals? There's individuals.
Yeah, when you look at like all the U.S. media, like you will not see any wording associated with extreme Muslim father. You will find an individual, a person. That's what they do time and time again. And this should be like an eye-opening report. And I hope our audience shares this everywhere, that an extremist Muslim father arrested in New Mexico compound housing 11 starving children was training them to commit school shootings, and had set up target practice area on the site. Surah, how do you pronounce that last name? Surah Waha, 39, was arrested at a compound in Amelia, New Mexico on Friday. Prosecutors say he was training the 11 children to learn how to shoot guns. It was intended as practice for mass school shootings, according to police. They were saved when police raided the property after intercepting a message intended for someone else outside, which said they were all starving. Waha and his son, a prominent imam in New York City, had been on the run since December, when he vanished with his disabled 3-year-old son, which, by the way, I think they found his body and his remains on the property. AG was not among the 11 kids who were rescued on Friday. Police are set to confirm whether remains found on the compound belonged to him. Also were arrested were 11 children's mothers and his brother-in-law. again, this is the type of things that they won't talk about because they want to talk about how it's great to bring uh, foreigners into the U.S. unchecked, unvetted, and this is a perfect example of something. Probably, again, and they said that there was literally like no food on the compound at all. Like they were being raised in the harshest condition. I think they found like 2 packages of food, like a box of rice and some other. And that was the only food that they found on the property. The kids, yet alone, had any type of clothing on them. But this is the left's culturalism at its best of what they're trying to bring to the USV.
Let me do a quick little Google search here, Siege, because it's what we do here, bro. Siraj Wahaj. Let's look at this guy, Siraj Wahaj. Oh, the funny thing is that Siraj Wahaj and his son, who was arrested, they're not migrants. The guy is this guy Siraj Wahaj. Okay, his real name is His father, Siraj Wahaj, not Siraj bin Wahaj, the son who got arrested, but prominent imam cleric in Brooklyn, New York. The guy's former name is Jeffrey Curse. Okay, and this guy. I mean, Wahaj was one of the 170 people identified by U.S. Attorney Mary Jo White in '95 behind the 1993 Trade Center bombing, who are alleged co-conspirators, but were never charged and denies any involvement with the bombing. Wahaj was a defense witness at the trial of the blind Sheikh Omar Abdel Rahman, the former leader of the Egyptian terrorist organization Gama al-Islamiyah. Look, man, this is nutsoid. Let me read what little Siraj Wahaj Jr., little Wahaji Jr. has done over here, because you want to know something, man. This is what I don't get, bro. Here's what I don't get. I don't know anybody who's black converts to Islam. I just don't get it, see?
Yeah.
If you read the Hadith, or you read anything about Muhammad, you would know that he hated black people. He kept black slaves. Why do you think Arabs were the first slavers of Africans? I'm talking about at a large scale. At a large scale. I don't get it, man. I really don't. And you got guys who get into this Islamic BS, and they get into the radical form of Islam, this far extreme, the Wahhabi death cult faction, which are what these guys are. They've radicalized themselves. They're idiots, and they decide to do stupid stuff like this. This is the most insane thing I've ever seen, bro. This is insane. This is inhuman.
Right, and for the YouTube, and for the YouTube censors, real quick, just to clarify, we're not spreading hate. We're just presenting facts here.
Yeah,
we're just speaking facts, right?
Absolutely, man. This is this is straight up fact. This is nothing else but here. I mean, here's the deal: when you're radicalized, and you got this Wahhabi death cult doing its thing and radicalizing people that are honestly speaking, this guy's an idiot. I mean, look at Siraj Wahaj. You think that guy's smart? You think that guy's IQ is over 100? I doubt it. I doubt it. And so, when you look at who falls into extreme form, the Wahhabi death cult brand of Islam, which literally takes things literally out of the Quran and whatnot. When you look at who gets radicalized by stuff like that, it's really the poor, those without no options, those who are not that smart, not that educated. They go and do this kind of stupid stuff. I mean, why would you treat children like that? These are kids, man. But I guess they're okay because they're not, Islamic kids. They're kafir, right? They're unclean. They're the Islamic radicals. They have the kafir, right? Like livestock
right.
Cow. The fundamentalist Jews have the goys, right? Every sect of humanity, every sect of organized religion has its own its own subhuman classification for other human beings, which makes it easier to kill each other. Okay, and this is my beef with organized religion. This is my beef with organized religion. Terrible, CJ. Terrible.
Yeah, and
Unreal.
so like, I'll give credit, to at least this article is labeled properly for the Daily Mail UK, and be like, when you do a quick search for this, like in Google, hopefully this will still come up because I'm using what do you see by the MSM, the dying legacy media? Man arrested at extremist Muslim New Mexico compound suspect. Man at filthy New Mexico compound. Children were brought to New Mexico compound. You know, there's only one, maybe one and a half there, extremist Muslim, the label it what it is, right? Children found in New Mexico compound, but they don't tell you specifically because it doesn't fit their narrative. And we see this time and time again, it's just absolutely insane. And that's why they're attacking people like influencers. That's why they're shutting down people like us, because they don't want this information to come out. They want to control the narrative consistently, like all the time. It's just pure stupidity.
Yeah, man, it truly is beyond stupidity, and it's babying. It's pretty funny, man. I was actually this morning, I was actually watching a few clips of Archie Bunker, and from All in the Family, and dude, it's like what Archie was joking about back then in the 70s and 80s. I mean, people would call it hate speech today, man. It was hilarious. And this is what happens. We become so pussified. We've become so politically correct that, to even label things, to even attach some sort of meaning to an innocuous term as a man. No, it's not a man. Well, what caused this a man to do what he did? What caused him? Well, it's his ideology. Well, what is that ideology? Where did it spring from? What was the inspiration behind such stupidity? And why is many of these people with these quote unquote ideologies are very problematic in society? Why is that? How come nobody talks about that? And this is why I've been saying for quite some time is Islam it's way, way, way overdue for reformation. It really is, man. It really is. It's the Jews have done it. They've been reformed. The Christians have been through Reformation. Muslims are next. I mean, you guys got to do it. Hopefully, there'll be this coming generation. The younger generation will probably do it. But this type of insanity needs to stop. It's ridiculous,
right? Yeah, and be real quick, because I think it's a great talking point into this. Is that I just want to be real careful of how it's okay to hold those corporations responsible, like YouTube and Facebook and those, for basically we need to hold them accountable because they're really suppressing free speech and everything. But the thing that I want to make sure that we're real careful about is that you hear a lot of people now that are advocating, both on the left and the right, they're coming together on this as far as we need government to get involved with monitoring and censoring. And we don't need any of that. Remember, that's the same thing that we asked for post 9/11, people. That's the exact same thing that they disguise these things as protectionist measures to protect us from these things. And then we as citizens go asking for more of it. We don't need the government to get involved. Just stop participating in these systems. Stop it. We don't need government involvement to come in and say, oh, we're going to shut down CNN and we're going to shut down this. Time out. No, that may work for today, but remember, the same powers that be may not be there forever. So what happens next when we move to a socialist society and they use those same powers that are given to a president the ability to shut down media in this country? Is that what we truly want, B? Is that what we want? Do we want another TSA? Do we need another Homeland Security? No, we don't. So please stop asking for more government involvement. It's okay to sue if someone wants to launch lawsuits against Facebook, against YouTube and things, but the last thing that we need to do is ask for more government involvement disguised as protecting us. And when really, again, just be careful what you ask for. That's all I'm saying.
Yep, absolutely correct, my man. Absolutely correct. CJ, next thing on the item, my man, we have some of the fireworks that are going on in DC. What's happening, brother?
Well, apparently, good.
Yeah.
No,
No,
the U.S. Senate Intelligence Agency has submitted a request for Julian Assange to provide closed-door testimony regarding the Russian collusion bee. This is the first time that they've specifically asked Julian Assange with WikiLeaks. We all know Julian Assange ties to the Dropbox and how the information, how the emails were placed in his hands, how he released this information. So there's no other person that is a better of sound mind. We know that everything that WikiLeaks has published, they've never had to redact anything. It's all been truthful. So this entire narrative could be literally like blown apart regarding this Russian collusion if they follow through with this to allow Julian Assange to provide, testimony. And he can keep to his word to keep it anonymous as far as who provided the information. He can still do that, but he would be able to provide and give examples of how this information, the data rate that we all talked about. I hope he makes them go to him versus him leave the embassy and come to the U.S. I think that'd be dangerous for him to do. But this is a great move. This letter was submitted to him, requesting. They even tweeted it out. There's a lot of speculation that is WikiLeaks still in charge of their own Twitter account, but apparently this is true that they have requested for Assange to provide testimony, which he could really create the fireworks necessary to blow this whole Russian collusion thing up once and for all.
Absolutely, man. That would be fantastic, and hopefully we get some truth out of there. It's definitely something for us to be watching very carefully. CJ, seems like Pakistan's new leader is a democratically elected populace. Is this a new direction for Pakistan? It's pretty interesting there. The newest elected prime minister over there, former soccer star, what's his name again? Imran Khan. Yeah, Imran Khan. Internationally, Khan's view of foreign affairs closely aligns with what many have interpreted the military establishment as being, though that shouldn't be understood as a bad thing or abused as supposed proof that armed forces rigged the vote to help him. Pakistan's new leader seems to understand the value of multi-aligning its country's international partnerships in order to promote a shared goal of multipolarity. It's pretty interesting. Not only is this guy rebalancing the relationship between Pakistan and the United States, but also tying ties with Pakistan and Russia, Pakistan and China, and hell, even Pakistan and India. So these are some interesting things, Siege. What say you?
Oh yeah, I mean definitely. You want to talk about the old guard being, and how long have we talked about this as far as the nationalists rising, around the globe, right? I mean, from Brexit to Trump to Italy, and now in the Middle East, we're witnessing it with Pakistan. Yeah, I mean, it's time for change there, and for them to become more of a normalizing relations with other countries, helping to build upon the new Silk Road project. And an interesting article to tie into this also be of this specifically happening at this point of him getting elected is also the discovery that Exxon is on the cusp of one of the largest discoveries of oil in Pakistan. So, does this specifically tie into that, and how does that change things up, in the Middle East, with Pakistan potentially becoming an oil powerhouse as well there? They're saying that the oil discovery potentially could even be larger than the oil reserves found in Kuwait, specifically tying to the amount of oil that they produce. But definitely interesting change. This oil reserve that they're finding, there's this discovery is on the border with Iran, which potentially could also spark some conversation around, why we're trying to get, regime change in Iran specifically. Exxon has a 25% vested stake in the company, and they're also requesting other foreign investors to get involved with Pakistan and to develop this potential oil discovery being.
Yeah, it's going to be huge, man, and it's game changing, bro. It's absolutely game changing, and it could open up tremendous amounts of opportunities for Pakistan and for the region in general, which is very good. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yep. Very
Great
cool.
example of fake websites selling supplements, brother. We see this time and time and time again, Siege.
Yeah, I'm glad I was able to finally capture one because I see this a lot. Websites disguised as something. So let me pull this up and show what this looks like, because it's very intriguing that companies like this are allowed to get away with it, and for the most part it goes unchecked. But check out this website. What website does this look like to you, B?
It looks like Business Insider.
Mm-hmm. What's the headline? Trump battles the FDA over Carson's breakthrough discovery, says this will not be banned. The American people will have a right to
look at that.
access to this.
It's complete BS.
It is. So they are disguising this as news and hyping and promoting a vitamin supplement, a brain booster. So when you go through and you read the article, it's very compelling. You're like, oh wow, this is awesome. This medicine is breakthrough science. I mean, they even have a video. Look at this. It looks like a professional article, right?
Right.
And you go through the entire article and you say, wait a minute here. So Business Insider. What's this? Let's look at the URL. Todaysbigdeals.com.
Wow.
And I've seen this even with like ESPN. Some supplements do this with ESPN, and then what really gives it away, when you go through the rest of the article, it all ties directly to this supplement. Like even the comments, the story updates, it's all about.
Jeez, this is very creative.
I was glad to actually capture one, because so many times I'll see this and I'll start reading and realize that this isn't ESPN's website about this UFC fighter taking this supplement. That's awesome. So just be wary, be mindful that there's these companies that are doing this. So they disguise this fully as trying it to Trump and Ben Carson, that this item they're promoting and everything. And then when you really find out about it, it's directly tied to a nutritional company. So,
dude, click on where it says Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook. We'll see where that goes.
It will on see since this browsing session is set up as guest, it won't follow the path. But on a browsing session, if you're logged in, it will take you to. It will actually take you to the supplement company that's producing it. It'll link you to their website to order the information. Any of these links will take you to that site. And look at the number of views. 300 and, well, obviously that view count's probably false. But yeah, so this is a perfect example of just a complete bogus. I should really probably send this to Business Insider and say, hey, look, this company's doing this. But yeah, so just be mindful. There's lots of these things out there right now that confuse people, and then they see things and then they retweet it or they post it and all that kind of jazz. So I just thought I would share that.
Dude, that's pretty sick. They need to stop that with the quickness.
Yeah, wow. Yeah. And the headline catches you, right? The headline,
it really does. It looks like it looks exactly like a supplement site. It looks like a legitimate article by Business Insider. That's great. It should be so illegal for them to even do this. It's crazy. Unbelievable, man. Anyway. See, that brings us to the end of the broadcast, my man, and I think we got some things lined up for today. We got anything on?
Yeah, we do. Well, Harley is on a much-deserved vacation with his family, so Harley's going to be out the next couple of weeks, and Lord knows Harley's been working so hard this year, so I'm glad that he's taking time away to enjoy. But we will have 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time cuss with Gus. Yes.
Yeah, we might also do a trading show today with the boys.
Yeah, I was looking for one yesterday afternoon. Didn't see one pop up. So you guys will be on today, right?
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Probably doing today, especially if the market's going the way it is. My guys have, these guys are doing great, man. These it's funny. It's like 8 days ago, Nick charted exactly what BTC will be doing today, and when BTC took a dump over the weekend, Nick charted that chart 8 days ago and said the play-by-play of where it's going to head, and boom, he's on the money. It's crazy how good he is.
It's awesome. That's awesome.
Unreal. Anyway, folks, subscribe, like, and share. We'll be back probably around 2:00 with the crypto boys and talking cryptos, and then later on today we got Cuss with Gus. All right, so keep it locked over here, and we're over and out. Take it away, CJ.